Hello everybody, this is Wake Angel 2001. I hope you had a happy new year and let's hope that 2022 is a bright one. Really hoping there. It might be a distant hope, but that's what's keeping the world turning right now. Alright, so normally this is where I would put in the video for the top custom of December. Only thing is that the DeviantArt poll kind of crapped out. Yes, you know what? Again, I do not dislike DeviantArt, okay? DeviantArt is I've had my gallery on there for 16 years. It's a very important place to me. I genuinely do love DeviantArt. The new Eclipse design for DeviantArt, however, can just go burn. It's the newest fault going on with DeviantArt right now is that when you try to set up a poll, if it has more than 2 options, adding any more options pushes the submit button off the screen, and then there's no way to scroll down to actually hit the submit button, so you can't make a poll. So yeah, that is some amazingly horrible website design there, DeviantArt. I am so glad that I don't pay for a membership there anymore. However, the poll on YouTube was still working, and since I made 4 figures for the month of December, I was able to pick a winner there. But let's go over the year 2022 overall. I made a grand total of 62 new customs this year. A lot of them were, of course, commissions. Some of them were projects that I'd been wanting to make for literal years in some cases. And a couple, I think, might represent some of my best work ever. So let's go over them one at a time for each month. Up first was January's top pick, which was Nami the Manticore. Not only was she the most popular custom of January, she was also the first custom of January. This was the first figure that I made in the year 2021. And I gotta say, I really like this one. Nami is, well, first of all, she's a mythical creature in the Sonic style, which is surprisingly not that rare in the official fiction, but kind of rare for fan characters. I don't really remember using mythical creatures as customs over in the past. Plus, Nami just has this really cool design. She's named after one of my favorite anime characters, and she kind of looks like if a Darkstalkers character was in the Sonic universe, and that's kind of awesome. And yeah, this is where the year 2021 started, and I guess I started on a pretty high note. The top custom of February was a figure that I worked on for such a long time. I don't even remember how long it took me to make the Black Knight. This thing took, oh god, it took months? I think a little over a year? I agonized for literal weeks over how to make certain details of this thing. It was one of my most involved projects ever. I literally did not know how I was going to do it when I started. And I really should have I started a policy of now I don't really take on projects unless I can have a clear path to how I would make the thing. This also is the first cameo from Sauce Dragon, an artist on Etsy who has a 3D resin printer and will make high fidelity models of stuff that you send him. He is the one who, of course, made the Black Knight's crown, as that thing is way too thin for my printer to pick up, and way too detailed for me to just make by hand. And, of course, he made the Death Caliber sword as well, a project that I attempted to make with my own 3D printer, but all those sharp edges were just too detailed for my printer to do. So, yeah, Sauce Dragon is a guy who I would fall back on a couple of times over the year. And I even went to him to help repair an old childhood toy by when I wasn't able to find a replacement gear. I just took a picture of it next to a ruler so he can get the measurements and asked if he could fabricate one for me, which he did, and I was able to fix an old toy car. So that guy, solid guy. But yeah, the Black Knight, top custom of February, one of the most complicated things I ever made, and really not sure if I would ever take on another job of this complexity, because holy crap was this thing tough. March, this was the first top custom of the month that was a personal project, and it is just Princess Sally from the original Saturday morning cartoon. This, okay, this is one of those life's ambition toys, like, an action figure of Princess Sally, or a toy line of anything from the old Saturday morning cartoon, is something that I wanted ever since I was 8 years old. Now, when I was around that age, there were some Sonic toys, but only of Sonic himself. Like, the cartoon got very little merchandising. Like, I got the Pogs, but, like, that was really all that was released to retail-ish. Like, there was some stuff like shampoo bottles with Sally's face, and I could never go to Australia at that age, so I wasn't going to go to Sega World to get the souvenirs from their gift shop or whatever. But, but yeah, like, this is just something that I had wanted for such a ridiculously long time, and I was finally able to just make it for myself. So, this is a representation of just a piece of my childhood asserting itself into dominance. Like, if the world isn't going to give me what I want, then I will just make it happen myself. Which is really why I got into this hobby in the first place. So, Princess Sally here really represents the full spirit of the toy customizer. And of course, her head is something that I commissioned from DeviantArt user Corey Sonic Fan. Total solid guy, very reasonable prices, and yeah, it's just great. April, the top pick of that month was another Fang character, Fang the Wolf, as I recall. Well, it's a Forces avatar, and I will always stand for Sonic Forces. Like, I know it's a pretty middling game in the Sonic franchise. Not bad, but you could tell how it was supposed to be way better than it actually came out. But I will always love the fact that Sega actually gave us a way to put our fan characters in an actual Sonic game. And this guy had a pretty cool design. He has he's basically the wolf avatar, reminding you of the Rookie, but you know, he has his own original look going on. And I couldn't help but notice that his shoes were basically the male version of the same ones that that SNT had from the SNT Forces series. I don't know if that was intentional or an homage or anything, but I found it highly amusing. But yeah, great fan character. Love the Forces avatar, and you know, like I just love the concept of the Forces avatar a lot more than I actually love the avatar itself. Then, of course, there's going to be at least one Rouge figure on these lists because I make her so often. I wonder if I'll have to make her very much in the future because, as we all know, in another month or so, the next wave will come out, and we'll finally have an official Rouge the Bat figure put out by Jakks Pacific. Of course, that figure will be in the 4-inch scale, so there might be more people out there who want the 3-inch scaled version to go with their old Jazzwares collections, so it's possible that we'll still be seeing more Rouge figures from me. Oh, who the heck am I kidding? I have 3 Rouge figures on my docket right now, so you'll probably be seeing more Rouge figures by next February. But specifically speaking, this is the Rouge figure that was based off of the Sonic 2006 look. as you can tell by the little grenade that she's holding. Which I find highly amusing that the Jakks Pacific version is going to have that very accessory with it. So, wow, that is a hilarious coincidence, and I kind of love that. So yes, this wasn't the only Rouge figure that I made over the year 2021, but it is the only one that actually made it to the top custom of the month lists. June saw the creation of Shantae. Shantae is a funny case because it's something that I had actually planned to make myself. I even bought the base figure for it and everything. But then I had other projects to do, commissions to take care of. Basically, real life just kept getting in the way and I never got around to it until she actually ended up getting commissioned. So it says like, oh hey, I was going to go ahead and do this, so I'll just take that base figure that I already bought, and as long as you reimburse me for it, I'll use it to make your figure. So, yes, that is how I ended up making a Shantae. And as a little bit of an indulgence, I even made an alternate head for her with the original look, because the commissioner actually wanted the Pirate's Curse look with the bandana, but I'm like, well, how long is it going to be before I make another Shantae? So I may as well indulge and get that and scratch that itch and make myself my own. And I wanna give a special shout out to the creator of the 3D model for Shantae, Elysis Knight, also known as Rava Knight. Elysis Knight, I believe, is their DeviantArt handle, and they are the ones that made the official models for Princess Sally and the rest of the Saturday morning cast for the Archie comics, so I feel a strong connection to them. And the Shantae model just looks so great. I'm happy that I was actually able to use their model to make the figure itself. July saw a rather ambitious project from me, as I managed to get my hands on a second Metal Sonic figure that I impulse bought on a trip to the Collector Cave, and I decided to make an action figure of Neo Metal Sonic. Quite frankly, I surprised myself at never having made a Neo Metal Sonic figure custom in the past, despite the fact that I made a Fang character based off of it, and I made several Shard the Metal figures. And of course we all know that Shard's basic character design was roughly based off of Neo Metal Sonic, so like I just decided to make it official and finally did the deed myself. I'm happy that the Jakks Pacific figure is 4-inch scale, because this would have been really hard to pull off in 3-inch scale. Although I do wish that the spines weren't this crazy, because like it really does kill the neck articulation. The first time I made his head, it looked a lot more like Shard's head design, with the spines swept back in a more practical pattern, but I just couldn't deal with the fact that that didn't look accurate to the game model, so there we go. Also, that head was one of the most complicated print jobs I ever did for a head, and yes, it does consist of 6 pieces, which I had to stick together. So, there we go there. Moving on to August's top figure, it was, of course, the Jakks Pacific scaled Whisper the Wolf. And, oh boy, do I love my Whisper. This is a rather interesting one in that the 3D models come from a combination of the fan-made models and the official models from Sonic Force's Speed Battle. Her masked head is of course the official model, as well as her boots, but the hands and the unmasked head, as well as her tail and ponytail, are all fan-made by was it Elysis Knight? I think it was Elysis Knight, but now I'm not remembering. Oh geez, this is a really bad time for me to not remember this reference, because I'm kind of recording. What am I doing? I'm going to have to stop recording for a moment and jump back in once I confirm. Okay, looking it up, it was Nibrock Rock. He was the modeler that created the unmasked Whisper head, as well as the other parts that I used. So, yeah, it's just so amazing that there's so many people who are so talented and just do these things that make my customizing job so much easier. Of course, I still gotta thank Corey Sonic Fan. Okay, full disclosure, if you ever see a 3D model that I didn't make myself in Tinkercad, just automatically assume that I went to Corey and he helped ready it for my printer. Because, yeah, that guy has been super helpful for me for the entire thing. Like, it's great that I have such a reliable ally who can help me bring my visions to life. Because if I had to hand sculpt these things, it would take a lot longer, and there would be way more compromises. In fact, I might not have been able to do it in this scale because the first time I made a Whisper figure, it was a Blaze base, and there is no 4-inch scaled Blaze figure. So, yeah, just gonna throw that out there. Moving on to September. Hey, look at that! It's Princess Sally again. Once again, based off of the Saturday morning cartoon, except where the one that I made for myself was based off of her appearance in Season 1, this one was based more of her appearance in the second season, with its brighter colors, and of course Sally wearing her vest, because, you know, we can't have girls running around naked, it sets a bad example. Yeah, I feel like it's like a Hanna-Barbera rule where as long as you have one article of clothing, you're not naked. It doesn't matter if that article of clothing doesn't cover anything, as long as you're actually wearing it. But yeah, like this one was the one that was the commissioned version of the figure. But really, aside from these slight changes, it used the same base figure, the same models, and I think, if anything, came out slightly better than my first attempt. I even used 3D printed her midriff, and that is a model that I made myself on Tinkercad, which also means that I can make the Tina Belcher figure look so much more feminine. Like, she doesn't have that frumpy potato body that is part of the art style of Bob's Burgers anymore. So, but, you know, like, she can actually look like, you know, the moderately curvy but not overly busty physique of Saturday morning cartoon heroine. So hooray! And you know what? Speaking of the Sonic Saturday morning cartoon, October saw another figure from that very same commission in the same series. The Saturday morning version of Tails is probably one of my best figures from that series, and it owes entirely to the base figure. Now, some of you may recall that I did use another figure to make my own version of Saturday Morning Tales. I used a Tsunoda figure, which I got at Five Below. But Fanatic Mitchell, the commissioner here, wanted something that was a little bit more true to the body shape, so he got the Stewie Griffin figure from made by Loyal Subject. So same toy company, just a different series. And Stewie Griffin is absolutely perfect for making the Saturday morning version of Tails in this scale. It was the perfect height, the body shape is absolutely perfect, and like even the tails from an official Tails figure, I believe these are Boom Tails figure tails, fit perfectly back there. It was almost as if the Stewie body was made specifically so that I could customize it into this version of Tails. So, yeah, that's just fantastic. I love this Tails figure, and I love it so much that when I look at the Tails figure that I kept for myself with its compromised Tsunoda body, I feel kind of sad that it's not this version of Tails. I really feel like I have to go back and maybe I should find my own Stewie figure and retcon my old figure, but whatever. Yeah, I cannot express how happy I am that a Saturday morning Sonic cartoon toy line now exists, and it exists specifically because I made it. So, yeah, take that. Speaking of things that I'm very happy exist by my hands, November's top custom, which, let's face it, was also the only custom I actually really made in November, if we're going to be pedantic about it, was my idealized Infinite figure, with the mask, boots, and gloves based off of the official in-game models, with absolutely no compromises for a removable mask gimmick, and a frankly perfect base figure in that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles foot soldier, who provided not only a well-proportioned and highly articulated body, but also that collar that goes around the neck to help with the the whole look that Infinite has going on. Like, I have made I actually look back through my work, and in some way or another, I've made custom Infinite work 10 times. Yeah, like, including a costume I made for myself for a comic convention. I have done, like, so many projects related to Infinite, and almost half of them were for myself. Like, when I did the Fusion Infinite to do that parody from the Dragon Ball Super arc, when I made the Unmasked Infinite for myself, then I made the Infinite to one up the Tomy Infinite because I thought the Tomy Infinite looked crappy. Like I don't know what drives me to make so many Infinite customs. I think it's that very perfect combination of obsession and spite. Like, I'm just driven by those two emotions every time I feel like the urge to make another Infinite figure. But yes, like having a definitive, perfectly screen accurate Infinite that I can lord over the Tomy creation, it always makes me happy when I look up and see this thing on my shelf. So, Jax Pacific, the ball's in your court. Are you going to make a better Infinite figure than I did? And remember, I did make a Jax Pacific scaled Infinite. Alright, to be pedantic, I made a Jax Pacific scaled Zero the Jackal, like Infinite not wearing his mask, but that's close enough. So, if Jax Pacific ever gets around to making their own Infinite figure, they're going to get compared. Okay, now the top custom of December, which is the reveal. It was, of course, Bedlam. Now, Princess Sally herself put up a good fight. My post-Super Genesis Wave Sally did almost get as many votes. It was only 10% off. But, you know what? Bedlam is a relic of one of the best Sonic the Hedgehog themed stop-motion series on YouTube. Pip Fan 77 Sonic Stop-Motion Adventures was such an amazing series. And hilarious that I actually got to be a part of it without even realizing. Because, like I said, the first time I made Bedlam, it took so long for the episode that featured the figure I made to actually get made that I had completely forgot that I did it. So the first time people came over, like, oh hey, did you do this Bedlam? I'm like, I don't make every Sonic custom. I'm like, oh wait, I guess I do make every Sonic custom. But yeah, like, I gotta make a Frenzied Bedlam custom now. Hopefully I'll have that done by this month, but I am so backed up, and hours of picking up back at work. Yeah, it turns out that when you're not on quarantine, the post-holiday season can get quite crazy. Especially with all the tourists who come into New York for New Year's, and then once that's done, they all come flooding to the stores to shop. Like, you would not believe how busy the stores have been. So hopefully I don't get the new variant that's been going around because of all the people I'm forced to be in contact with every day. Remember to wear your mask and disinfect your hands, folks. But yes, I thank you all for accompanying me on this journey through last year. You know what? Why don't you guys go back through the backlog? Remember, Nami the Manticore was the first custom I made this year, so why don't you go back to my DeviantArt gallery and go back and, refresh your memories on everything that I did, and why don't you tell me what your personal favorite custom this year was? I know it sounds like I just gave you guys some homework, but go ahead, say it in the comments. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video featuring, I'll read off your comments, so let me know what was your favorite Wake Angel 2001 custom of 2021 and why, and I'll do a comment read, and we can have some fun with that. So, yeah, this is Wake Angel 2001, signing off.